What's up, everybody? Welcome to the SONGW3RKS WRAP Show. I know it's been a minute since we've streamed, but here I am. Oh, thank you, Monty Python, for subscribing. I'm glad that you're here, Monty Python. We have some special stuff for you in a little bit. So, the other guys are all in the thing, and they're all talking and being silly, but they're not on the screen yet, and you can't hear them yet. I could see them, though, and they're all being ridiculous. So... today I paid for Zoom. So apparently Zoom comes with all these nifty little features and dumb shit. So I found this dumb thing for them to do. I was going to turn their mic on so they can hear, so you can hear these guys. They're clowning right now. None of you are on the screen yet, by the way. So welcome to the SONGW3RKS WRAP Show. SONGW3RKS Volume 2 Rap Show. Art and Tom and I and Matt and James and Chris and Joe and yeah, that was it. And we did an album in a week, guys. We did the whole same thing, and it's all the songs that you guys have heard in the demo. And I'm going to bring them on. So we've got our panel here of. We've got okay, you guys are on the screen now and they can hear you.
Blah, blah, blah. Sploob.
So there we've got Matt Hedrick, whose head is getting larger. And we've got Art Mays is in there and Tom McDonald's in there. And so these are our panelists so far, and we may have more guests come in. Hopefully the rest of the band and our fearless engineer, Joe Miller, will also be here. So Tom and Art and Matt, I don't know if you guys have like on your phone next to you, if you've got Twitch up on your phone or whatever, so you guys can see so you guys can see chat and see if people are talking to you or whatever. But
nobody wants to talk to me anyway.
Oh, Tom, don't say that. A whole lot of people want to talk to you.
He was referring to me, Tom.
So welcome in, you guys. We've got, Matt Hedrick, who was the drummer on the album. We got Art, of course, you guys know from Discord and from the Art and Pete and SONGW3RKS and all the things. And Tom, you guys saw last year. He's the photographer, the god eye of the whole thing. He's the one that's capturing all the video and the visuals for you guys to check out. And see, Crowley says hello. Special K says hello. Croker Music says hello.
I know.
Tom, do you remember Scott Goldberg? You remember him?
Yeah.
Whoopi? He's SHG9498 in chat. That's Scott. So,
well, holy shit.
Yeah,
oh, there
right,
he is.
right,
I see him. Okay. What's
Oh, see, and you were like, nobody wants to talk to you. Special K said, I like to talk to Tom.
From the past.
And
well, she has to.
Monty Python, my friend, says, I don't know you, Tom, but hi. Keither says, is that what Art looks like? I'm just used to hearing his voice and looking at Google Docs.
He's kind of the same as his icon, you know?
I know, right? Yeah.
No disappointment there.
Soon.
Oncoming Storm says, your friend Tom looks like Moby.
It's better than Patton Oswalt.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, that's true. See what you did, Storm? See what you did? All right, so...
Gone are my Timberlake days.
So, real quick, I want to hand this off to Art for a second. Art, refresh everybody what SONGW3RKS is and what we're trying to do with it.
All right, everybody. So what we do with SONGW3RKS for the past 2 years is each year we've gotten together 10 times in that year, and we've got a show that we put on called SONGW3RKS. During that show, we will bring in all of the ideas from the chat, and within the scope of one show, we will put a song together from, what is it, Pete? Top
Concept
to
to product.
Is that what he said?
Oh, that's what Joe says. Yeah, top to tail. Top to tail.
Top to tail. Put that whole thing together. And then once we've got 10 songs put together, we head out. I head out to North Carolina. Tommy heads out to North Carolina. That's Tommy. Backwards thing's not working well for me.
Right.
We head out to North Carolina and we spend 5 days. We give these guys, these musicians, the charts and the words, and let them think about it for a while. We get into the studio in 5 days, and we treat it sort of like we're a garage band for those 5 days. Everybody's in the studio together, just throwing their ideas around, and it's a really just hardcore creative process. Yeah, so I think that's basically what we do.
Pretty much. All right, Tom, talk a little bit about what you did when you came down. What do you do for SONGWRKS?
I try to. I'm the photographer. I basically try to photograph the fly on the wall moments you guys have, and there are a lot. You guys are fantastic to watch. This has been 2 years in a row now, and it's been great. Basically, I get pieces of you guys kind of doing your thing, and then kind of stitch together a story of whatever's happening. I got my GoPro there and kind of, get you guys having your moments and discussions on trying to pick apart and reassemble songs. So, yeah, it's I just kind of try to capture everything as it happens and package it in a way that's semi-entertaining and fun to look at for you guys.
Well, it is definitely fun to look at. What's up, Black Angel? What's up, Croker? I'm trying to maintain, say hi to some people in chat there too. And Matt, what talk about your experience with SONGWRKS? What are your history with Art and Pete and what you do with us?
So I take my shoes off and hit things with sticks.
Those are all objectively true things that you do.
I have photos of him barefoot at the drums. I can vouch for that.
I will say what I love about this experience as essentially a hired gun, but a member of the family, right? It's a songwriting collective, and we are there to help interpret the songs. I love the clean slate that we're given. I love the fact that a year ago I felt obligated to practice and prepare, and that was good. And there's still some preparation, right? You don't want to take this task and this request lightly. But the thing that you and Art told me this year was, don't overthink it, come in with a fresh mind. And because we had experience together as a unit, we had enough trust in each other that we could come in without a safety net. And I think that the result was even better because we had no preconceived notions. And we really did stretch out our creativity. And the nostalgic part of me knows that I never would have been a studio musician. And if I did want to be a studio musician, that era has kind of come and gone, unless you're, the super top of the A-list. And I know that we're not anywhere near the Wrecking Crew or the Funk Brothers or any of those great ensembles. But it's the first time in my life that I've been able to channel what it might have been like to experience that. That's what I'm most appreciative of.
Hell yeah. Dude, and it really is too. Like, that's the crazy thing about being in the studio with you guys and going from all you guys had heard was the demos. And then we sit in the, sit in the room there and then come up like, it's so funny because the demos are just, so you guys at home know that when we write it on the show, it's just me playing piano. And then I go and do a demo and we do that demo video so you can hear the song as, as I hear it in my head when we play it. And that is the recording that these guys are given. And then when they get a hold of it, their mandate is play what you think belongs here. Play what you think goes in this section. And none of them work together outside of the experience. So when they come together, it's very much Matt doesn't know what James is going to do, and James doesn't know what Chris is going to do, but they just kind of do what they think belongs on the song, and then we fit it together, and we rehearse it once and go, ooh, Matt, you're doing that thing I like. Why don't you do that some more on that part? And James, you're that riff you're playing, it's slightly different than what I did, but I'd like to lean into it because it's an idea that I didn't have that now is an idea that we can put in the song. And all of a sudden, like, yeah, Croker Music just said it, like, then the song blossoms. That's exactly what it does. It just pulls up and out, and a lot of these songs have really transformed from what they were initially when they were on the demo. And it got really exciting even from the first day. And to your point, Special K, no, the internet is not having a good time right now. We are dropping some frames, and that is not cool.
I should have kept my mouth shut earlier today, Pete, huh? About your Spectrum.
Yeah, I know. Making comments about Spectrum. Oh, no. Oh, yep. It's happening. Hang on. Oh, goddamn Spectrum. Please pause for just a second while I figure this out. Right. Oh, man, this just started, too. This just started. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, man. Oh, it's dropping a lot. Oh, that is butt. Sorry about that, you guys. That? Oh?
Yep, you're moving.
Clear on the board. We're moving. Oh, we're still sending data to Twitch. Hold on. There we go.
You're moving.
All right. All right. We've got a green light. Everything is working. Everybody can hear everything, and you see everybody's still in chat. That's good. They all stayed there. All right. So, well, that's fine because the recording's not going to pick that up, which is super good. Spectrum sucks. Da 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 da.
It helps. AT&T sucks this week too, so can't escape it.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely Spectrum's fault because I've got a reticle here on OBS that turns green and then yellow and red. Ooh, it's at red. Oh, it's at yellow. Oh, yep. Spectrum's going to be bouncing us around, I think. I think that's what it is. So
I say keep talking.
Yep, we're just going to do our best and get through it, and then we'll post the video. We'll post the video another time. And then it will look nice when we post the video. So, but anyway, since we're going here, I feel like we should show a video. So I'm going to show a video. This is I'm going to show Tom's walk-in video. This is the walk-in video.
A good one to start with.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I kind of have them in like an order here. So this is the walk-in video. This is the like what happened at SONGW3RKS, basically. All right. So
as Art greets you.
Yeah, as Art greets you and introduces you to the world of SONGW3RKS. So no, it's a different one, Special K. It's a different one. So so here we go. This is the walk-in to SONGW3RKS. This is what it's like at the studio. So there it was. Oh, I won't. I don't know why you weren't allowed to mute yourself, Art.
I know. He said
There.
it was not allowing presenters to unmute themselves. So I said, "Alrighty then."
Oh, really? Oh, well, I have to fix that in some way. I'm not entirely sure how to fix that. So, um, no.
That was the end of the day.
All right. Yes. So the
Thanks.
Which
Pete.
is my favorite. Absolute favorite.
yeah, is that your favorite one, Tom?
Oh, 100, hands down. 100%.
Why do you like it, Tom?
Yes.
I mean,
why
it's
do you like
catchy,
it?
but it's nostalgic. It's just it's nostalgic done very well. It reminds me of all my favorite TV shows growing up as a kid, the theme songs, and it's just fun and bubbly, and it's got a hell of a message
It's about
on top
overcoming
of all.
anxiety.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I was joking with Art. We were flying back from Charlotte to Chicago the other day, and I was humming that thing through the airport the entire time.
Man, and that actual, it's funny, the recording that you can hear in the recording that you can hear coming out of that video is I don't know if it's the track that ended up making it onto the recording, but I know some of that's probably on the recording.
Some of it probably is, yeah. That was early.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, BRH, for subscribing, you guys. Thank you very much. I have the alerts turned off on this screen so we can, so it's all clean and stuff. No, I don't know. What did you say, Storm? What was your question? I can only, I can't. I had to restart the stream, so I don't know. If you had a question, Storm, please put it back in chat. But yeah, I am a huge fan of EOD. I love the.
Oh, he asked if one still sounded like John Mayer.
Oh,
Not so much, I don't think.
not so much anymore. It kind of sounds a little bit more like Matchbox 20 now, actually. He's referring to the song When I Was, which was our writing prompt was John Mayer. Yeah, it was that song kind of mutated in the studio too. Like we ended up doing there's an electronic drum loop at the beginning now and some cool synth kind of overlay things and yeah, it's pretty neat. What's up, King? King Dambreaker in the house.
When we mutated some of the key parts to guitar, they really did mutate on quite a few of them, and you guys should find the change if you look at the demo side by side with what we come out with. It's gonna blow your mind. Yeah, I highly recommend you do that. Just so you can see how the song changes over time and the types of changes we made, especially if you're interested in songwriting and song adapting. And then what this will also allow is people who decide to cover the song, piano players, they've got a place to start already with the demo that Pete put up. And guitar players and everybody else, now they have a place to start as well. We're also looking at some potential remixes of some of the songs just based on interest by other artists, which would be fantastic. One of those is the song "Pushing My Button" that we originally decided was going to be sung by a deep R&B voice, and
Omari, who sung Advice on the first record.
Yeah.
But when it got right down to it, at the end of the day, if you will,
I see what you
like,
did there.
man, you've got to sing this song. It feels like your song.
Yeah, and Kay and I have been thinking. We've been thinking a lot. Talked about it again the other day about turning that song into a duet,
Which should absolutely happen.
Yeah, yeah, we're starting to think that probably is the way to go. Actually,
I heard the back porch sample the other night, and it was
yeah, yeah. So let's see. So Oh, we were talking about End of the Day in that video. I really am excited how that song turned out. I can't wait to see if Joe is going to be able to get those big sounding drums, you know, like Easy Lover. That's kind of what I'm looking at, and it kind of has that vibe all over it, you know. And we added that little synthesizer, and really kind of what Kristen Special K called it the sparkly. You hear that sparkly at the top? You hear that sparkly? Yeah,
It really does sound like that.
Yeah, and I'm really excited that it leaned into it leaned so much into the 80s, and we all knew, you know, that was among all the songs, I think that one came together the fastest because everybody really kind of knew what the vibe was. We weren't really playing with, well, let's maybe take it in this different direction. We really didn't do that. We were like, yep, that's Easy Lover. Just do it like that.
How does that go?
What are you? The End of the Day, you know, which you being dumb.
No, I said, how does Easy Lover go?
Oh, I can't sing it. I'll get DMCA'd because Phil Collins will probably hate me too. Oh, okay. So Special K says, I think you guys should explain where you are with the recording and what is yet to be done.
Yes.
So where we are in the recording right now is we have the principal tracks all laid down for the songs. We have drum tracks, we have guitar tracks, bass tracks, piano. I've put scratch vocals on the top of on the top of all the songs, so they exist in kind of a proto form right now. They are not mixed. We haven't put really any effects on anything other than the effects that were already on the instruments that we were using. I still have yet to go in. I have to go in and sing everything. Special K has to go in and sing her stuff. And then there's some other orchestra stuff. There's a lot of post-production that still has to be done, but the songs are in a listenable format right now. In fact, later on in the show, you'll probably be hearing some of that, hopefully here in a little bit. But what's around your neck, Matt? What'd you put on? What is that? Is that an apron? Oh, you muted yourself, Matt.
Yeah, it's my apron, so I'm going to cook dinner while you make.
Oh, nice. So
I'm going to cook for James.
And he is here.
Hello.
I'm going to put him in this seat right next to you, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, we have James Nelson on the show.
I am here.
Scoot over, James.
Give me a kiss, James.
So wait a minute. It's my stats. Okay, I got it now.
Sure.
Are we at a spa in New York? This is
I know, right? This looks very nice.
There we go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is James Nelson. James is the wonderful, fabulous guitar player on the record. James, now that you're here, and I had everybody go down the line and do this, but tell us a little bit about your experience working on SONGWRKS and kind of who you are, what do you do, and what was your experience on SONGWRKS, man?
Hi everyone. I'm James. I am a music instructor at the Ballantine School of Music. I also co-run a small studio with my bassist in another band called Giant Spoon Productions. And I'm also a Chippendales dancer on Friday and Saturday nights. So let's see. Those are the main accolades. My experience in the video was terrible.
He's a man.
I hate everyone in this band. Like, I wish all of you would die. honestly. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, James,
So-
thank you for being on the show, buddy.
Yeah, you got it. I don't want to be here anymore. So, yeah, the studio experience was really fun. It was very, very fast paced. I think we did 10 songs in 5 days, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Really, 4 days, and then a fifth day of
Overdubs.
and
Yeah, so technically
Yeah.
we got all 4 of them.
tracking was 2.5 songs a day.
Yeah.
Whew, yeah. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of strenuous activity on the brain. But it was very fun, and I always look forward to doing it. I can't wait to do it again.
Hell
But
yeah.
when you say, James, we never felt rushed. We never felt like the clock is ticking. There were lots of breaks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, on one hand, one might say it was inefficient, but it wasn't inefficient because Art and Pete, you let us move at the pace that was comfortable, and I think that affected their creativity and their approach to the songs. I think if there had been pressure to stick to a deadline, it would have come out differently.
This is what happens when you use professionals.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
True
that's the best thing. Honestly, one of the things that I can say about this project was that the band, you guys were extremely professional. Art has written a bajillion songs. He's very, very good at writing and composition. Tommy is an amazing photographer who you're going to see some of his, again, I'm going to tell you, you're going to see some of his pictures in a little while, and it's going to blow your mind because on that picture video, we actually have one of the songs in its current form on that video, and you'll be able to hear the entire thing. So I'm very, very excited about that.
We don't even know what it is.
No, I haven't told anybody.
No clue.
I've told Art only because I ran it by him to make sure it was cool. Should we put this on there? Oh yeah, Tommy knows too, because we were talking about it because I was using his pictures to make the video. But Special K's got something in here. Matt and James, can you talk about how you felt with ideas this time versus last time? Were you more comfortable sharing this time than the last?
Yeah, I think so. I felt like I had like a little bit more input. I would say, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, it felt like I was more in tune with the project, that the ideas that I came up with as like first drafts made it to the songs, typically speaking.
Yep.
Whereas last time I wasn't quite used to writing guitar parts for something that was very piano forward, where the piano is taking up a lot of the chordal harmony. And I had to struggle with that because...
Yeah, sorry about that.
it always made me feel like I either had to just play power chords or maybe just single notes here and there. But this time around, because I'm more familiar with Pete's writing, it felt easier for sure. And I got like 10 seconds of prog on the album, so that also makes me
yes, you did.
Happy. My nipples are very erect. Thank you, Art and Pete.
I can't wait for you guys to hear that part.
Really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
James.
No, real quick. What are the language parameters on this show?
Oh, you can curse. I mean, don't, keep, it's R-rated, but not Tarantino R.
Yeah, don't go full Tarantino on us.
Unless it's pre-written.
Oh, man.
If it's pre-written, feel free to go full Tarantino on us. I wanted to tell you that Pete and I actually talked a lot about leaving space for the other instruments after the first experience.
We did.
And so that's definitely one of the things that we kept in mind was where can we leave space for these guys to develop their own ideas?
The demos also, it's awesome that you brought that up, Art, and I'm going to get to you in a second here, Matt, but it's cool that you brought that up because one of the things that we talked about all the way through, and everybody that in chat, if you were on one of these shows, one of the Songworks shows, you'll know what we were talking about. We talked a lot about, like he said, leaving space for instruments, but also leaving the arrangements kind of bare bones as well. Verse, chorus, like there might be a solo here, but I don't know if it's going to change, or it might, be a section. Maybe we can work something out in the studio, kind of like James did last year with Advice, where we all went home and then James came in and had an entire bridge written that was amazing.
You're welcome.
I still talk about that. It's like we're sitting there, we're outside drinking wine and smoking and stuff, and then we get a text from James, and it's just a bunch of chords. And I'm like, Bobby, James just wrote a whole part, and then we get a audio of it, and it's like, oh shit, okay,
Yeah,
okay, and then took that
the
to the studio
conversation
next
just
day.
kind of paused, and phones came out, and quiet time happened.
Yeah, it was like, holy shit, James just went full Steely Dan.
I had that burst of inspiration.
Yeah. Oh, it really worked too. That's it's my favorite part of that song, man. It sounds so neat. There's like I don't know, in Advice, there's like this legitimacy to what we're doing that, it's one thing for us to write a song and whatever. It's another to like have that song come out having a particular style. It's not just a bunch of dickheads in a room. No, playing the song. It's like we're really creating something special here. I felt that
And
with
this
Advice.
time around,
And this time around,
our
yes.
street cred comes from James' decidedly metallic, if you will, progressive metal. I think it's very progressive metal. Am I wrong about that, James?
Oh no, that's 100%. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's what I would call it. Well, we kind of went into the song we're talking about is Reset. If you guys remember that song, we kind of talked about that on the show being a progressive rock tune anyway, because of the time change in the middle of it and everything. And I was very much in favor of adding more of that flavor. And then James goes, well, how about we do this? And then his fingers went really fast and everybody's hair kind of blew back. And it was like, yeah, I'm going to put that on the record. That sounds very cool. So when you guys hear Reset, you're going to freak out. It's very cool.
I was really happy about it because it started off like if you just hear it with just the guitar, it just sounds like 1,000 notes. But as soon as Matt came back with his drum part, it really started to groove nicely.
There is a groove to it. That is what's the most important part.
Well, it's because it's not metal, it's Latin. So I bastardized a Latin groove and never even dreamed we'd put percussion on it. And then I still don't know how that's going to turn out, but when Joe works his magic, I think it's going to be.
It's going to be awesome. And I'm already telling you guys right now that might make it into a No Spoon song. So if anyone out there hears that from another band, it's okay. I ripped off myself. I think I can do that.
We'll get your 30-cent copyright check to yourself.
Yes.
Okay, Matt. So other half of the question to Matt, how did you feel about ideas this time versus last time? Were you more comfortable sharing this time than the last?
Well, I'm going to answer it in a different way. There's two parts to that question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not known as a less is more player. And last year, I went to great lengths to try to reverse that. I always play for the song, but that's very subjective, right? And coming into this, you encouraged me to stretch out a little bit. But I don't think that I used that license. But to answer your question, I never felt constrained to contribute my ideas. And I felt that this year I was able to receive more ideas. And so if you think about that question is, what am I going to bring to the table? How I'm going to express myself? And what I didn't expect this year was 3/4 of the songs, my approach to the songs was informed by every member at this table. Examples. There's at least, and everybody knows this, Pete's a drummer, right? So I know I can say to Pete, we can speak drum and just say, what do you have in mind? He'll go, blabbity, blabbity, boop. And I'm like, oh, I can do that because I can play anything Pete can say. And bam, that's it. That's too lazy. So I already knew I had that as a safety net. James had several songs that he said, here's what I have in mind. And I was like, great, because I was mailing it in on my approach, and all I needed was that inspiration from James. Art, and clearly Chris, he's my rhythm section partner. So every song that we do, we're finding where we
Yeah.
Now we're always doing, Chris and I are always doing this.
Oh yeah.
And then Art, with every song, Art, you're able to express in adjectives and, to quote Peter Gabriel, atmospheres. You know, you're able to express what is the feeling that you want from this groove. And in one case, he actually mouthed and it said, make it go like this. But you know where I'm going, Tommy? There's actually a song that Tommy said, here's what I hear. I want to hear your story about how Tommy inspired the drum part to a song.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
What part?
There was a song you were like, oh my God, you're using my idea. That's awesome.
Oh my God, what was that? Was that an Atlantis song? No. Which one was which one was that one?
The
Great story.
What was it?
Which one, Matt?
I expected you to remember. Anyway, photographer said,
quality TV right here, guys.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I put you on the spot, Tom.
No, I remember the incident. I just can't remember what song it was. But yeah,
literally, I took inspiration from everybody, and that was a surprise because not always, at least I come in thinking, not that I want to make a statement, but at least want to pull my weight. I want to contribute in a way that the other members of this team appreciate. And for me, it was the opposite. I received more than I gave, and I think that was a gift.
Oh, I thought that I actually have mentioned several times when I go back and listen to Lights in the Window. I think that the Lights in the Window drum part is particularly amazing. Where the stick hits are up front in the first measure and on the back on the second measure, and it's just, you think it's going to go that way again, and then it delays and it waits, and it's like, oh, it's this other type of groove.
Was your idea, right, Art? Or am I confusing that song? Okay.
No, I know the song. It was an Alanis Morissette song that I know you were asking me about. I just can't remember what the name of the dance, because it was a cover she did, and I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah. What did she cover? Damn it. Okay, we'll come back to it. That's
I
your
had an
homework.
idea for Reset to accompany the new guitar line that was taking place of the piano line. And Pete wanted to do, what was it, Pete? You wanted to hit on the quarter notes? Is that right?
Oh yeah, I had this idea of just thumping on the bass drum, and
I was like, hey, why don't you try this?
That's exactly what you said, Art.
Yeah.
That's
And
exactly what you did.
You took that and you started playing with it, and you came up with what I think is a really cool beat that may have inspired the feel for the whole song that then set James off. So
yeah.
It's a really cool creative process, guys. I wish we designed it this way for a reason, you know what I mean? So that we could bounce these ideas off each other in sort of an in-the-round setting. And it's just paid off in spades.
And it helps that there's a no asshole rule in this group. So no assholes.
That does help, doesn't it?
Not a curse word. We only got pissed off at ourselves, and then the other members, like, at least in my case, would lift you up when, you were stuck on something. It happened to me once, and you, Pete, once, right? And it was just like,
oh yeah, I got stuck on something. I think it was the lesson. I think I was just having a really hard time playing those parts effectively. And it's like, I wrote this.
Matt,
what the fuck?
For Matt, it was I stopped believing.
Yeah,
I think
I did at one point in the song, right?
Yeah. All right, so I want to go to chat for a couple questions here, because there were some in the thing that we missed. First of all, our fearless our fearless engineer, Sounds Like Joe, is in the chat right now. Guys, if you're looking in the chat and you see Sounds Like Joe, that is the engineer on the album, Joe Miller from the Wave Lab. He's a goddamn genius. And anytime he spoke up and said something to us, like, it was, you need to listen, because if he was inspired enough to have an idea and he said it, it was great. But
yeah, I wish Joe was here right now so he could, because this time around, it felt, in addition to all the musicians, that Joe felt a lot more comfortable voicing his opinions and thoughts. And the rapport that we developed last year really did continue over to this year. So
yeah,
it was an absolute pleasure to be there.
I thought so too.
Oh,
All right. So Caffeine wants to know, who is more difficult to please, Art or Pete?
I think Pete,
Art.
because Pete has more opportunities to like tell people to do things the right way in the studio. And he's in there with them in the room. And so he's like, no, do it like this. No, do it like this. You know, with the beat, start the beat here, because a lot of it is the structure of the song that Pete is sort of gifting everybody with. For my part, I mean, Pete's like, hey, what'd you think of that? I'm like, sounds great. You know, most of the time, that's what our experience producing is. But sometimes, you know, I'll have ideas and talk to the musicians, and it really is a cohesive creative process rather than one of us being like the hard to please dude.
Right. Right. Yeah, I would definitely, I mean, I would say it's probably me, just because I'm a shitty bear in the studio.
well, I would say this, like, it's not a matter of like who's hard to work with. It's a matter of trying to make the person's idea come to life. And with the case with Art, he'll have these more out of the box ideas that are more nebulous. Like they're harder to pinpoint. Of like, he'll say something and be like, oh, I know exactly what that is. So it takes a little more creative energy to get there, but that's not like a bad thing or anything. But that's a lot harder than Pete going, yeah, you know, that major seventh chord is kind of bullshit. How about you just play a dominant seventh chord? I'm like, no, okay.
And just to say it, all three of us play with Pete in bands. So we have a musical conversation. And I think because of the trust we had developed with Art, I'm going to answer the conflict question. There were times that Art would have an idea and people go, no, that's an idea.
That's true.
Too true.
That's true.
And I think whether it won or not, almost every time one of us would go, whether we liked the idea or not, and usually it was because we did, we would go, wait a minute, we want to try that idea out. And I think maybe all but once we ended up going with Art's way when it came to that.
Yep.
So,
And that, you know what?
I remember that example, you know?
That
like
shit
my sole
doesn't
value in this enterprise.
No, but that shit doesn't make me feel bad, because it's when you get on that track and you're, you know, and I sit in that chair and play the piano and we're working out this song that Art and I worked on, you tend to have, you know, I try to leave my preconceived notions at the door, but I do kind of come in with something with, I think I want to hear it this way or whatever. And it's hard to shake me out of that. What became true over the course of this entire experience was that sometimes I need to shut the fuck up and let the idea kind of happen, because it might trigger Matt, which triggers James, which triggers Chris, and now the song is something new, and it's something that I hadn't previously expected, and now I want to explore it because it's new and it's different now and it's cool, you know.
I think that's one of the hardest things for a creative person to do. I'm sorry for interrupting, Matt. I think that's one of the hardest things for a creative person to do is to take a back seat.
Yeah.
And I say that, you know, I have a lot of experience doing that over these past 2 years, and it's immensely rewarding. So I recommend it to any artists out there who have been struggling on their own for a long time. You don't have to struggle on your own. You've got a community. You just have to respect them.
Yeah.
But when you say it's mostly arrangement at that point, I mean, you two have hashed out and arm wrestled over the songwriting, the melody, the theme, the cadence of the lyrics. Most of the stuff that you really fight over, I'm guessing you guys have fleshed that out. So the only thing we're working out in the studio is arrangement and instrumentation, and those are, I think, less territorial. But it's a question to the songwriters. Is my impression correct?
Say the question
Some
again?
people.
Is arrangement and instrumentation less territorial? And by the time we get to the studio, you guys have really fought over the really things that you're passionate about.
Oh yeah, yeah, that happens on the show, on
Yeah.
the Songworks show.
And
So my
Matt,
point
the
is
way
the
it
pro-
skews, the
Yeah.
way it tends to skew is that because I've written so many songs, I may have a little more say, and I'm sort of, to some degree, Pete, tell me if you disagree with this, but I think we're teaching each other in our respective spheres of influence.
Oh yeah,
And so that helps us sort of divide up the songwriting process from, the composition process, from putting all the orchestration process, putting all the instruments where they need to be and how they need to be there. I'm still going to have opinions about that stuff because, well, I do consider myself a musician as well as a songwriter, but I know that when it comes down to it at the end of the day, Pete's opinion has a little bit more weight in the studio than mine does.
I think that's only because I'm sitting in there doing it,
Well, because that's your knowledge base as well. You've been doing it for so long. You've made a lifelong decision to pursue your passion, and that passion is music. So when you play it and you produce it and you know it, my passion is music too, but my dumb ass went out and did other things. So I don't know as much about all of that stuff as you do. So I take what I've been focusing on, which is me sitting with a guitar, learning about structure and melody, and couple that with your specialty, which is making songs real.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a marriage made in heaven.
Oh, thanks, buddy. That's what I've always appreciated about our mutually beneficial arrangement here. Is that the more Art and I do it, the more our abilities complement each other, and the more we stay out of each other's way when it's important. When we have something.
And I will say, is someone who stayed with you both weeks that you guys were in studio. No, it's highly entertaining to come home from you guys being in the studio for what's 10 plus 12 hours some days. And we come home and we sit on the back patio, on your back patio and shoot the shit. We blink and it's 2. And all you guys have done is literally dissect almost note for note everything you guys did that day. And it's like the passion doesn't stop. And it's fascinating to watch as a fly on the wall for a week to see it happen twice. It's the shorthand between you two is remarkable.
Oh,
And that's why they show up late every day.
It is indeed.
It's 100%.
A lot of groundwork on those evenings.
So I think it's time for another video. So the one I'm going to show here, this is I had to stitch this one together because it was actually 2 different parts. There is and you can actually hear some of what we're talking about in this video. It's us structuring Kite and Key. And I'm going to let the whole video play, but all you're going to hear is Matt's drum track because the audio is coming off the camera, which is in the room. You couldn't hear any of the instruments. All you can hear is the drum track, but I'm letting it play because Tom's photography in the room and Tom's cinematography in the room is really quite special. And then there's a really funny moment at the end. There's a great moment at the end that I'm super excited. I can't wait. It's a fun Matt thing. Monty Python. So what you're going to hear is you're going to hear the drum track. You're going to hear the drum track on it. So Kite and Key is Monty Python's favorite tune that we've written. He's all about requesting it on the show, and he was in there when we put it together. So this is going to be the Kite and Key video. I hope you guys enjoy this. All right. We're doing it. Sorry. I just needed to I need to confer with council to make sure we were headed in the right direction. Because honestly, the thing that I'm having him do now, the whole idea behind this one, it's supposed to sound like a telegraph line. The whole song's about electricity. It's why Kite and Key, Ben Franklin, all that thing, telegraph, right? Well, in trying to get him to do that, he's now created a Nile Rodgers funk line that we are simply accenting by Rush and Boz Scaggs. Right. And so now it's like we got Neil Peart, Boz Scaggs as bassist, and Nile Rodgers in the gig together, and now the song is going like this. And I'm like, I told Art, I was like, look, I know we want to hang into our concepts, but this shit is morphing. Can we we follow it? You know,
you're still doing Morse code here.
So. Oh no, I'm not. I never actually wanted to do this.
Oh, okay.
I never wanted to do that. I was always going to give that to somebody else. But now that I've tried giving it to him, and now it's kind of, we've tightened the screws on it. Like conceptually, it's starting to move.
You could still squeeze it in somewhere.
I mean, I might. Maybe something like that.
Or something, yeah.
But this guitar part that you've got now with all of this,
it's
like,
way funkier. Yeah.
It's so funky and tasty and just, oh fuck, it's bad. It's bad. All right, so let's.
So hey, real quick, that's how it goes. It's bad adoo.
Don't hit the E.
Which one?
Go ahead and hit the B flat. Bum, 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 bum.
Murph and the Magic
Tones.
We're playing at the, what was the name of the room they were in?
The Ramada Room.
The Ramada Room. Dude,
the Ramada Room.
It's totally Ramada Room right there.
Yeah. You should go. Don't you go change it.
Don't you go change it. And then hit the A track. So.
All right. Let's do the thing. Roll on 3.
Why did you do that?
I messed up the ending.
That was a great take, though.
I know, it was a perfect take. No, it was really good. It was really good.
It was, and also I followed you on what you messed up.
Yeah.
I went right with you, man. So, but it sounded, it was kind of cool, actually.
And we're back. So that was us constructing some kite and key stuff and then playing all the way through the song. And then that was
Yeah, I
then
remember now.
But that's
Literally fucked up the last note. Like,
yeah. Fucked up the last note. That's okay because it's not on the recording we got. That was an earlier track, I think. And we got to be funny about it, and that was fun too. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new guest on the panel tonight.
Hey, Joe.
Where are
Hey,
you
what's
going
up?
with that XLR in your hand? Joe Miller is in the house. Joe Miller is the engineer on
Producer.
both, / producer on both Songworks albums. So if you guys like that first one, there's a lot of Joe in that one, and there's definitely a lot of Joe in this record. Joe, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us.
I am doing very well. I'm honored to be on the Real Show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I don't, as you know, I don't Twitch very often, but when I do, it's always fun to see how it comes together. It's
He always needs cortisone. Last time he
Dude.
twitched.
So, Joe, do me a favor for the people watching at home. Talk a little bit about what it is that you do, the place that you run, and what it was like working on this record.
Oh, I'll keep it as short as I can. I work with music and sound. I try and make it sound as good as I can. What I did on the record was help Art and Pete and all the guys have a good time. Make it as easy as possible. Hit the record button when I was supposed to. Make the click tracks work, and then just kind of talk music while we're doing music stuff. And then Pete and I will mix it down and do the vocals, and then then it's done. 4 months from.
I
4
always
months.
got kicks out of when you denied them click tracks. You're like, no, this time you're going on your own. You're fine.
Well, it's only that one song in particular.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea too, Joe, because it was kind of funny that we actually did play. He's talking about the Destroyer, the Cat song. We actually did play it better when we didn't have a click, and it was just kind of janky. Obviously that may make it harder to edit, but I think it's definitely going to show in the recording itself.
Well, and to Matt's credit, he was curious, and after we did the tracks with no click, he was in the control room listening to it, tapping it out, trying to see if it stayed, and you guys stayed within a couple. Yeah, you were pretty much on the same click at the end of the song, but it just kind of lets it float a little bit better. The click is a mysterious thing. It's great sometimes, and for some genre it's necessary in order to get the right sound, but for other things you got to follow the band, you got to follow the song,
right? Yeah, and Joe, no bullshit, I really, really, really love working with you, man. You are extremely good at your job. You're extremely good at your job, but you've also got, your years of experience and years of engineering tones gives you an incredible insight on how a song should sound that actually, to my mind, goes way beyond the artist sitting in there and doing it. Because we can have ideas all day, but for a pair of fresh ears coming to it for the first time, hearing it like that, and then going, well, it's got this vibe, so maybe you guys should try this. Maybe you guys should try this other thing. And a lot of times it's something we haven't thought of yet, and when that makes it into the recording, it's like, well, now there's a piece of Joe in there, and that always makes me happy. That always makes
You know,
me
I
happy.
think
a couple
I
of
think
pieces on the first
after it was all said and done, every one of us had a piece of Joe in us.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes, baby.
I did reluctantly. I did reluctantly
man.
every day by 11 a.m.
We have
That's for
rules
the
around
documentary,
here.
James.
We got to keep it. Keep everything in line.
Oh yeah, I signed the forms. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Joe.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just meant metaphysically.
Yeah,
For the
that's what I
documentary.
meant too.
You guys get your
but-
minds out of the gutter.
Working with Joe is just awesome. I really like your style. I like your toys too. You're
Yes,
okay.
We have a lot of fun toys.
Bring that back. All like the crazy synths you have, and the Tetsuya noise box, like all these interesting things. Even though they didn't make it to the album, they kind of they help the creative process move forward.
Plus the vibe. Hopefully
it's the vibe.
it gives a vibe. Like, here's a bunch of toys around here, musical toys. Have fun playing with them. Check them out. Try this, try that. Who knows what gets used and what doesn't.
I think my favorite Joe toy. My favorite Joe toy was when in last year's session when we were doing the Warrior, or when we were doing Warrior. And I said, I really kind of want this guitar solo to have a Kid Charlemagne vibe. And James was like, well, I don't know if I can make that. Maybe can make that amp. And then Joe said, I've got a, what is it, Joe? The Kid Charlemagne amp. What is it?
It's so Larry Carlton and some of those guys played Dumble Overdrive Special, which is a unicorn of an amp. And I do not have a Dumble. Those things are $75,000, but I have a clone of a Dumble that another engineer in Charlotte built for me years ago when I was still playing a lot of guitar gigs. And it's a pretty faithful recreation. It sounds just like a Dumble to me. It's as good as I need. So we pulled that out and James put it to work. It was quite fun.
It was good. That's one of my favorite solos on that first record.
Yeah.
But
Joe learned his lesson this year and started taking the toys away from me.
Theremin.
I would play with something and come in and find it placed on his mantle away from where I could reach it.
This album was free of theremins, which I was thankful for.
Free
that took a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, but then we turned around and used the synthesizer that Joe built. I'm going to build a synthesizer because I'm Joe and know how to do that shit. So we just kind of went in there and used that one. It ended up sounding amazing. Yeah. So Special K was talking about she can't believe how well the Destroyer turned out. She can't believe she's all about a song about a cat. And Giblet says,
meow, meow.
Yep. Giblet says the cat song is a freaking banger. And T-Mac said, yeah, and the fact that your husband meows on the track too. Oh, that's staying in, by the way. Meow, 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 meow.
History.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, that's totally.
Just under 2 hours, Pete.
What's that?
Just about 2 hours it took us to write that one.
No, that one was, maybe.
Yeah, that was the one because
was that the short one?
Man, as soon as they started talking about cats, as soon as that idea was introduced, I had been thinking about writing a song from a cat's perspective for months.
Oh wow, okay.
So I pounced on that.
It was that one. It was that one.
But like everything came from the chat, man. I didn't put a whole lot of. It was mostly structuring for me and then filling in the blanks at that point,
Right.
The chat was like, "Oh, what about this? What about this? What about this?" It was great.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That one was real. That one was real fast. I forgot about that. That's right. So I'm gonna play another video here because we do have a couple more we got to get through. And the next one I'm gonna play. This is us working out Foolish Minds, and this is a little bit of an insight into how the idea process comes for the musicians and how we talk about it when we review it. And it's, you're gonna hear you'll hear the entire song, but it's played out of a phone, so it's not like you're getting the whole thing. By the way, Special K, the cut that we're playing in this video is the cut of you singing. So you guys will hear actually hear a cut of Special K singing "Foolish Minds" on this video. But this one has some of those some of the idea generation and what do you feel like playing on this? So what were you thinking for this, and what were you thinking for, and really just kind of talking through the idea of how it's created before we go and lay it down. So this is us discussing Foolish Minds. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, so I just want to listen to this real quick, because this is one I don't think the band's going to be all over this, but before we talk about this, did any of you have any ideas about this tune?
Seems pretty straightforward to me, man.
Was there something you wanted to do, like anybody wanted to do specifically? Or?
I mean, not really. Like, I was playing it last night, and I kind of had like a see? Like these big things.
So I'm thinking the beginning is very, lamenty or whatever. Got some reverb on the piano here and whatever. So then it gets in here and it's still kind of a cappella. No band yet.
You think about how the band come in on the second half of the chorus? The
second half of the verse. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
So on the what do you?
Like.
Okay. So it's hard to creep in.
The drum should kick it. Like I was thinking, just.
I don't know. I think it wants to be much more morose until the drums come in, right? So I want the drums in as early as possible. I would say right after the first part of the first verse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it would, it'd be a little softer. But then I'm seeing a build up to the chorus too, where the drums come in strong.
Yeah.
Right with the first.
Everything kind of comes in right here. We're in. Because I was thinking of that second half of the verse, just like they can come in with some sparse stuff, and he hits ride cymbal on 2 and 4. You know what I mean? And then that builds into this. So then when this rolls back over, now we're in for verse 2, and we can, play through it that way. So this is the end of the. You know what I mean? And then so we're soft, but we're.
You want a rim click or a snare there?
Just do a snare. It's fine. If you can do higher on the neck, first part of the verses, lower when it goes to the bum 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 bum. Those lead off the back half of the 2 verses, right?
My concept was upper register for the early part of the verse, more middle for the later parts, and then choruses we get big and low.
Oh yeah, the strings all over this. We'll do a whole string arrangement.
No, I'm imagining the male voices.
Oh yeah, we had this idea because this song is about female empowerment and being shitty in the workplace and stuff, and having a chorus of guys. So it's like she's basically like fucking yelling at all of them. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, I just thought that might be funny. So sounds very Broadway. Right? Now here's where
just 50 Jameses. That's what I want you to do, man.
What? The wheel?
There's a pause there right before you come in. Right?
Yeah.
The pause right before
Tell James to thank the Godfather.
James, like this, man.
All right, hang on a second. Sorry. No, it's not the right place. Not the right place.
Okay. Right.
Here's where it is.
1, 2. Then you did thing, right?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And we're going 2 times around the changes for the solo.
Yeah.
We'll make sure the Charles. The Delio.
Yeah, and then it goes back up.
What's
want something obvious there?
What's that?
You want something obvious there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we may thinking about putting the violin on the first solo and then have you scream it out at the end. Or maybe the other way. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So she's got a whole nother chorus.
That's not who I
And then it's going to go big again here at the end. And this will go twice.
I think right here we're about as big as we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Like just blow it out.
Yeah,
And
it's huge here.
last time.
Right. We're just, you know.
Yeah, it's all pretty low and booming. It's so forte.
Stop. Because I think I'm gonna patch a glockenspiel right there and play the end of it like that.
So you're gonna come back around to the top of that progression that begins with the F minor, but we're out at the C sus4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All I can think of is wipe off your fucking lens, Tom.
So
Lens flare.
So we do have some questions in chat now that we've come back, and Special K had one earlier that we kind of missed. I want to address this one, and then there's a question for you, Tom.
Sorry about that.
Special K's question. This is probably for Art. Do you feel that the shift to the idea box has helped the process? Before I continue, the idea box is that for those of you that haven't seen one of the SONGWRKS shows, there's an idea box where we put everybody's ideas from chat into a document so that we can view them, and we put it up on the screen so everybody can see their ideas being put in, and we can kind of use them as clay or whatever. Art, talk a little bit about the idea box and what you think about what Special K asked you.
So after volume 1, we're all patting ourselves on the backs. Volume 2 comes up, we get a couple of songs in, and we start getting complaints from the audience, from chat, from the contributors, that their ideas are not being considered strongly enough. And we don't want that. We want you guys to feel like what you put out there is what we put in there, if you get my drift. So Pete and I came together and we said, well, how do we fix this? And one of the ideas that we came up with was to use an idea box where we captured the ideas in chat, because they disappear so quickly, we can't necessarily remember them all. And so once we started actively capturing ideas in chat, we were actually able to show the synthesis that we were using to produce the song, and then actually take lines directly from that, or that we could manipulate a little bit so that they fit better into the song to capture the overall idea that we had agreed upon. It has changed the process significantly and in a much needed way that allows all of you to see what your contributions are and to understand what our process is a little bit better, which is the whole point of this exercise.
I think you're absolutely right. I agree with that 100%. The idea box was a much needed change to the format, because it really did help us pay attention to what people were saying and keep that stuff in mind. Because as he said, when chat starts scrolling, and then I don't see it again until I look down at it, and then I'll look away for a while and I'll look back, and Art, for the most part, has, he'll catch something in chat because I'm bounding out something. Somebody said this or whatever. But now, because we have the idea box, now we are more attuned to it. And so now we're scrolling back through chat and we're looking for, did we get everybody's ideas? Did we miss anything? Oh, this one goes really well with this. And then we get, you get like songs like Reset, where somebody says, I want you to write something about a sloth in a trench coat. And Art goes, fuck it, we're putting that in the song. And then makes it work. And we made it like there's a real reason. Sometimes I feel like a sloth in a trench coat. And then we describe what that feeling's actually like. And
moving too slow with a sinister spin.
That's it. Yep. Because
what does the trench coat signify?
we don't.
Mystery-ness.
Yeah, it's the mystery of it all. The guy,
the intent.
the
intent
guy
is a
simply
sinister
said,
intent. Yeah.
he simply said, I want you to put something in here about a sloth in a trench coat. And we went, what the fuck does a sloth in a trench coat have to do with anything? Art made it fucking mean something. And now it's like, it just the same thing as in the last line when it talks about convenience store sushi. It's like, ooh, that's gross. And then the very next line is what eating convenience store sushi feels like and how that would relate to having a bad day and wishing you could reset
Going
it.
down smooth with a satisfied grin, but
That's
I'll be
it.
back with a terrible vengeance.
Yeah. It's like, I love that line, dude. I love that line.
Crafty.
The only way that story ends.
Yeah.
Stop it, rewind it, and play it again, baby.
And then the prog metal comes at the end of that song. So there you go. That's the pooping.
Yeah.
Power move.
It all ties together, baby.
Okay. So
there was a lot of that in Joe's poor bathroom that week.
yeah, there was. Wasn't there, James?
Yeah, we committed some brown crimes in that bathroom.
Brown crimes.
Literally everything James eat has peppers in it. I don't know how his asshole is surviving this process of being alive.
So
It's just the way it is.
Well, it's been a great show, you guys. Thank you so much for. Okay, so Special K has a question specifically for you, Tom. What's it like to be in this position while this is going on? Do you find it hard to disappear? And how is this project different from what you normally do, if it is at all? And to the guys, is it easy to forget he's there? So we'll go to you first, Tom. Speak on that for a little bit.
Is it easy for me to disappear? Professionally, yes. I used to work in live, TV and film. So I'm used to doing what I do, and part of it not being able to be seen. So I love when I get to do candid jobs like this, where I can just literally be a fly on the wall. I have a knack, I think, for getting the shot I want without being obtrusive about it and being interruptive. So it's kind of fun. It just lets me have a front, like more than a better front row seat to kind of what I'm shooting. That being said, is it hard for me to disappear when I'm doing something like this with Pete and the guys? That kind of makes it hard because I always feel like I want to give my 2 cents when you guys are in the studio or doing something, but I got to realize that's not what I'm here for. Half the time I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And 2, I don't want to break that third wall. So, or the fourth wall rather. So it's just easier for me to just kind of be quiet, let the moment happen, because that's where the gold happens. That's where I kind of get my shot. So it's fun. I love it. I do. I love it.
We love having you.
Awesome. Yeah, dude. We love having you come take the pictures. Now,
No,
to us, is it easy for
I'm curious to know that too. Like how long did it take for you guys to not because that's one thing we started off last year. As I told you, I was like, doing what I do, unless I'm physically touching you, I don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how easy was it for you to kind of do that?
Well, it became easier this time around. That was a little awkward the last time, but this time we knew Tom was going to be buzzing through the room taking pictures, and that he knew, Tom's extremely good about staying out of everyone's way. Like, even if we turn around and start moving, it's like, oh, Tom's not there. He's like this crazy ninja. And so,
I think,
very impressive.
I think to some degree, if you would, Pete, I think to some degree it's easier when y'all are playing or in the room, because when y'all are in the studio space, it's easier not to look at the person who comes in the door because you're focused. But, normally it's just you look at the person who walks into the room,
Right.
So for me, it's been hard because every time Tom walks into a room and I notice him, I want to look at him, and it's like, no, fucking Art, don't do that. No, you have to keep doing what you're doing. Don't bring Tom in anymore, okay? You got to stop that shit.
Right. What's it like for you, James?
I hate him.
He does.
No, it
Makes it very clear.
I didn't find it super difficult last time. How do I say this without sounding weird?
Why are you concerned about that? Why are you concerned about not sounding weird?
Well, I gotta try not to go on a tangent, but I'm like overly aware of my surroundings. So if I I'm very reactive when I see something in my peripherals. So I think sometimes I acknowledge Tom's existence.
Just so I don't get backhanded.
Yeah, I mean,
smack with a guitar stock.
You were so close to getting it. I mean, I was gonna fuck you up. You gotta stay out of my bubble, man. I'm a genius.
Had to hold James back one time.
There were sometimes when I was doing shots from behind you and walking around, I would always make a point to put my hand on your shoulders to let you know I'm coming over on your right side.
Yeah, but see, you don't do that because I feel like that's a threat. I'll deck you.
Look at him; he's such a tough guy.
It was a little more. As Pete said, it was easier this time around to just let him, I guess, do his job. I still wanted to hit you sometimes, though, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. Yeah,
I want to get hit by James in a nice way, like when he bonks me and little hearts fly out of my head.
Yeah. They're called love taps.
Love taps.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what. We'll come back and take some questions here in a little bit, but I know Joe has to go because Joe has actually been at work all day, and he actually is still at work streaming, coming into the Zoom from his studio. So
thanks, Joe.
Hey,
Joe,
no, this is awesome.
Joe, man, thank you so much for
you.
being here.
Dude, thank you. I love you guys. We had a blast this week, and I just wanted to stick my head in the door and say, hey.
Oh, we're so glad you did,
again.
dude. So glad you did.
Miss you already.
Now, before you totally leave the room, Joe, so this next video, this video is super special. So you can, during the video you can go away, Joe, but I hope you keep it up on Twitch because
you can go away.
It is the performance from Smokey Joe's on the first day of recording. So I got to talk about this video for a second. So we began principal recording for SONGWRKS on Tuesday morning. We actually went to the studio Monday to get things set up, to get drums mic'd up, and set, which I think was a huge help and a really good idea for us to get there and get set up so that when we got there on Tuesday, we could immediately start creating. And in that first day, we got, I think, 3 songs done. I think, didn't we? We got EOD done, we got the Destroyer done, and we got Pushing My Buttons done, I think. I think it was Pushing My Buttons on that first day. And
we did prep work for 2 of the songs. Did we get prep work done the first day and then the third day?
Prep work for...
We did the timing.
You're talking about spending the last little bit of a day.
You guys...
Oh, right. Right.
And we did the drum work for the one that has the electronic drums in it. We did those the day prior, so
for
we could
when
just
I was,
jump into the studio and go.
Yep. We
just
had
for
done
process's sake, so we could expose our process.
Yes. And Art is right. So that did happen on the end of the days when we would get done with a song. If we found ourselves with only like an hour left before everybody was running out and needed food, we would like Matt and James are making out over here. But when we had to know when we were
shut up,
only had like an hour left and didn't have much time, we would set up for we would pick the song we were going to start with and kind of set up for that. Which I think gave us a huge advantage going into the next day. But I digress. Tuesday, we laid down those 3 songs, and then it was always in the plan that we were going to go to Smokey Joe's that night and perform them just like we did last year with Warrior and Sugar Rush. I think were the 2 we played last year, and so this year we went back, and I mean, like some of the audience was extraordinarily into what we did. They were extraordinarily into what we did, man. And so I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is our performance of EOD and the Destroyer from Smokey Joe's on that first day. So what you need to understand when you hear these guys play this, we learned them that day, recorded them that day, and then played them live that day. That is a bizarre stream of events,
within 6 hours of hitting stop on the last record of that day.
Yep.
I assure you, all of the notes and beats were 100% correct. No clams at all. Perfect in every way.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So Joe is going to take off during the video. So thank you, Joe, for being here. And here we go. This is the Songworks performance at Smokey Joe's. Check it out.
This is it's Chris Rebels, it's James Nelson, and it's Matt Hedrick. You might know these guys from such local bands as Abacab, the Music of Genesis, and Thurston Howell, your premier yacht rock spectacular. So here we go. The first two songs of Songworks Volume 2. This is called EOD. So that was EOD. The next song we did today was, I just want to see if you guys can figure out what this song's about. This song's title is The Destroyer, from the life and times of Mr. Buttons. the free till it's time to free. Think you got me, cause I'm ready or not. I'm cashing the job. Cause I'm gonna destroy ya, knock it all down, cause I'm well high. Cause I'm the destroyer, I'll never do you like wait till you're weak, cause I'm well high. Cause I'm the destroyer. Tearing down the walls as I sharpen my claws, ready to end all the suffering. Showing off my belly to find the attack. I'll treat your face like a ball of string. Think you got me, cause I was ready or not. I'm cashing the job. But I'm gonna destroy ya, knock it all down, cause we're well high. Time to destroy ya, I'll give you the light. Wait till you're weak, cause we're well high. Time to destroy ya. They're all asleep. My time has come. I'm to eat a treat from the palm of your hand. My evil plan will change everything. You can drop me up, but I still hold my own. Carry my blades everywhere with me. Stretching in your lap like some innocent thing. Wait till I spring. Cause I'm gonna destroy you. You guys, this is my writing partner, Art Mays from Chicago. Flew in yesterday.
Literally all I got to say is that these guys are fucking amazing.
How are you?
And we want to pull them up front to take a bow for y'all because they have been amazing for 2 years now. And hopefully they're going to be amazing for the next 4 days because we got a lot more fucking songs to record.
Okay, so there you go. That was the Smokey Joe's performance of Songworks, EOD, and The Destroyer. What did you guys think? That looks like Monty Python said, "Holy shit, that's good." Storm said, "Well, I didn't think I'd enjoy a song about a cat so much, but I love a bluesy riff." It was good. It was a lot of fun to do that. James, Matt, how did you feel going into that performance? Like, what do you think was going to happen? Start with Matt first.
I just want to say start off that, I can't believe that from the morning to afternoon sessions. I mean, I know you played it a bunch of times, but come on.
Yeah.
You get on a stage and you're willing to do that. I mean, just the fact that you were willing to do it shows guts and gusto. But the performance itself, I was very impressed, guys. So thank you so much for being willing to do all of this. It's just
Thanks,
been,
buddy.
Yeah, I know. I made the comment that you guys made it really awkward for the next people to take the stage.
Well, Pete, you were saying, isn't it amazing that we learned, rehearsed, recorded a song, and then 6 hours later went and performed it live? I feel so comfortable playing with all of you that it was still less scary than showing up on Blues Night Jam and someone calling a tune I don't know and pulling out. I think I can do this. But I'm going to be brief. The best feeling I had that night was when Art came up and said, "Why didn't you do that in the studio?" And there's something about a live audience that brings that extra something. And we decided, I don't know which take is going to make the final cut, but we all decided based on that to do it again the following morning.
Yeah.
And, Art, I think you nailed it, So that's my answer.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, the version that is in the version of the last exports, I guess that we have, the version that I sent you guys, that's from the takes from the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was built into the idea too, Matt, because I mean, Pete and I both know what a different experience it is to play live versus playing in a sound studio. And I think it does lend that extra verve to it. Once you experience that, you have a new appreciation for the song.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it works.
I think Destroyer actually benefited from us playing it that night and then going to the studio the next day and redoing it. And then, then me and James taking stabs at the trade-offs.
Went for like 10 solid minutes.
Yeah. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to go for like 10 minutes. So there was just a bevy of stuff we could choose from to stitch that together. Or it may be a situation where when we get in the studio and I listen, I go, "Oh, that whole trade-off section right there is great. We're going to use that whole thing," Actually, Storm, you may not be too far off. He says the next Songworks needs to be a live album. And I'm like, well, that's doable. That is a doable thing, and we're thinking about. That's in the pipeline right now. But
it is. We've discussed this, and we've discussed doing it with an orchestra just to upstage Ben Folds. We've also discussed doing this at corporate events because you can make lots and lots of money doing this sort of thing in front of a bunch of people who are in corporate America. I'm talking upwards of $50,000 for like a 4-hour stint. But we can talk about that later because that's not that much money.
We'll be like Foley. Matt Foley. Right?
We live in a van down by the river.
I can buy a lot of cheese with $50,000.
James, how did you feel about that? About the whole process of going through that and then going and performing that?
Oh, the process of like what we did earlier that day.
Well, like the fact that we rehearsed it, we recorded it, and then went and played it live. How did you feel going into the performance?
I felt more relaxed. I remember last time I spent more time listening to the demos that we had of the songs. I think we did the Warrior and
Sugar Rush.
Sugar Rush. That's it. I remember spending like maybe a good solid 30 minutes just listening to it to remember what I did. here this time around, I don't want to say that I didn't care, but I felt how to put it. In other musical circumstances, in like Abacab, or my own band, I strive for perfection. So I'll spend like hours and hours making sure everything is right. I'll play entire songs with just me in the room and no audio. So it's hard for me to let go of that, but this time I actually did. So it was more easygoing. The energy that night was really awesome from the crowd, and it was just fun. I felt like I could just let loose for like 15 minutes, and be good. So
yeah. Oh, and you were, dude. That was a slam. That's a slammer performance. I think everybody in the room had a blast that night for sure. For sure. All right, so going into this, because we're getting on here, and I want to wrap this up here pretty soon. But I want to talk to Tom.
I have a
what?
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Art.
I have a 20-second short here. So I was standing off sides watching the band perform, and this guy, as soon as they announced, he says, "Yeah, these guys have known these songs for like 12 hours." And the guy looks at me and he pokes me in the shoulders. 12 hours? I said, "Yeah, man, yeah." And then after I came off stage, he grabs me and he says, "I am going to buy everything you guys have ever made."
Wow.
I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!"
Wow.
That's in the mail.
Yeah, that's what you want right there, man.
Some real shit.
That's how you grab people, you know.
That's how James grabs people.
James grabs people.
Well, I mean, I can show you how I grab people, but probably get banned off of Twitch. So.
Yeah. Terms of service. Terms of service.
He's grabbed me under the table now. Oh, James, stop.
Yeah, I have powers. Yeah,
I have powers.
Cool. Yeah, that's an emotional tickle. You take that with you.
Actually, the post review at the post office says you have charges, not powers.
Nice.
God damn it. All right. So, Tom, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. Now, we've talked about the musicians and the songwriting process and all of this, but the way people get to see into this process is through your eyes and what you see through the camera lens. I know, right? Stop it. I'm going to get DMCA'd. But I want you to talk a little bit, Tom, about what you're trying to see when you're pointing a camera at us. What are you trying to convey in your art?
I'm only trying to really, in situations like with what you guys are doing, I'm only really trying to convey what's happening. There's being a fly on the wall, but can that fly tell the story of what's happening in the room? And that's kind of basically how I do a lot of my photography, similar to with what I was doing with you guys. I don't do anything. I don't walk in with any prep. I don't walk in with any kind of conceived idea of what I want to shoot, how I want to shoot. I kind of let the lighting in the room and kind of what you guys do kind of talk to me and figure out where to go from there. Obviously, the beginning of the week, I'm heavy on, James playing guitar, Chris playing, his bass, Matt on drums, getting James' faces, getting Matt's tongue sticking out with his bare feet, beating the drums. It's, I want these staple shots of all you guys playing your instruments. But then after day 2, day 3, they all start to look the same. So that's when I try to find what the story is. And a lot of the stories is just finding those collective moments. There's a great shot I have of Art trying to explain something to Chris. And it's a really great few snap interactions I have with that. And it's just catching those moments of, sometimes I get photos of you guys getting that light that goes off when you're trying to explain something to somebody else or vice versa. So it's like, those are what I'm after. I'm after those aha moments. Anybody can shoot you guys playing instruments and remember, yeah, that was great, but it's what are the underlying things that are happening?
Right. I mean, what about with the portraiture? What is your inspiration for the portraiture that we did?
The portraits. Nobody's really seen the portraits yet, but you guys. That will change here, I think, shortly.
Yeah, just a couple minutes, actually.
The we did the portraits last year. I think if you go to your guys' website, you probably remember, what those look like. And it's just your standard, to me, standard, photos of you guys just kind of hanging out with your instruments. And it's really great shots. They came out like looking real nice. A year later, they're still valid. Why do I want to reshoot those? So I spent most of the week trying to figure out how I wanted to do your guys' portraits this year. And in hearing, I've said this to you guys all week. It's the first time I'm saying it here with the with your stream, but not taking anything away with what you guys did last year. It's a great album, great. This year, you guys have kicked it into a different orbit with how you guys have laid this down and what it sounds like. And I kind of started thinking, I need to up my game. So I decided to base your guys' portraits this year on the Queen 2. Well, Pete has educated me officially as the Queen 2 cover album, but I was referring to it as the Bohemian Rhapsody floating headshot.
Right, because that was what was in the video, and that was used to promote the song and everything. But I was like, yeah, that's the.
So I kind of thought, and it kind of came to me. There's a shot, I think you might have it, Pete, that I gave it to you earlier. There's a shot of James in an ISO booth with his guitar, and it's a single light ISO booth, and I shot a picture of him in there, and I kind of thought, this is how we're going to do guys' portraits. This is what we're going to do. So you guys got done recording. I tore the ISO booth down, relit it how I wanted it to be relit, and next thing you know, I said we have a plan A and I have a plan B. We're going to try plan A. If it doesn't work, you guys are coming back. Be patient. We're going to shoot again for plan B. And I never diverted off plan A, and they came out spectacularly. They came out.
We showed the one with the ghost in it. With James and the ghost. Did we have that?
Yes, the ghost photo is kind of what half inspired the ghost photo.
My best friend.
You should just flash that on the screen if you've got it, man. That'd be great.
Those of you on Discord, yes, I will throw it in there. Let me see. But that's
And can I interject briefly? It's not going to work. Okay, this is low tech. You can't see it, but this is the photo of Tom capturing Art, explaining to Chris.
Photoception.
Right?
Oh, yeah, it turned off. It turned off.
It exists. I captured that photo because I can sense.
Matt, you should send that to me, and I will put it in Discord for us.
You have the photo of me taking one of my shots. I noticed that. That's kind of.
You were under. It was my photo sucks, but the moment makes the photo great.
Yeah, and we touched on that a little bit, and I think Special K actually put up a Facebook post about this after you and her, Tom, after you and her went and shot on the last day. She took a picture of you trying to take a picture of something else. And it was a turtle. And she even put it up and said the photographer doesn't ever think about what they look like when they're trying to get something. And so she posted that picture of you, and I just thought that was just super cool, especially since that day I saw the picture of the turtle that you took, and then I saw the picture of her taking a picture of you with her, saw the picture she took of you taking a picture of the turtle. It was fascinating to see, see that whole thing.
Yeah. And it emulated a conversation we had shortly before, right?
Right, yeah, and it did, because the night before we had talked about how entertaining it is sometimes to watch me
action
photographs.
Mm-hmm. And I suggested somewhat insubordinately that Tommy should use that frog picture he took, not the turtle picture, but there was a great frog picture, as like a logo, because the way he looks when he's bouncing around the room, nighttime land, once again, I'm bouncing around the room, is just like a frog, and it's great. He's bouncing from place to place, from perfect moment to perfect moment, and I love that for a metaphor. But he rejected that idea wholesale, so we'll see what happens.
Tom, if you reject it, then Dead Barbie is the next one.
Oh, the Dead Barbie,
that's totally Kay's shot. That's
Dead Barbie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Kay
took a shot of a dead Barbie.
That image, she will release that. That is fantastic. That is
Is this
Y'all need to
legal?
go follow Special K on Instagram. You'll be able to see some of these pictures she's taken.
And I only want half photo credit because I helped save her from from falling off the log into her imminent death into 2 inches of pond water.
That's right. See,
The
she's even
Barbie
saying there,
or-
dead Barbie.
But you sacrificed a shoe.
I'm so lost.
Oh yeah, lots happened that
Glad to
afternoon.
be there, James.
James just about the dead Barbie. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. This is this last video that I'm gonna show you guys is a video collage of Tom's photography and pictures that he's taken that he took over the course of the 5 days. The video is going to end with the shots he took of us in the ISO booth, which no one outside of our circle has seen yet. Yeah, I hope Monty Python is in here because he's going to freak out. So this is a collage of Tom's pictures, and it's special because you guys are actually going to get to hear a incredibly rough, non-mixed cut of Monty Python's favorite song. So what you got to understand about this audio, it is not mixed. It's just what we played coming off the board, and then my vocals are a one take scratch. So they're out of tune. There's not, it's not.
He's saying it's going to sound like ass.
It's going to sound like ass, but it is the
There you
first
go.
time that any of you
No, I
guys
won't.
will hear.
I promise you it will not sound like ass.
Well, it is the first time that you guys are going to hear what
I like ass.
will what will end up on the record. So
So much for showing my mom this video.
So
I showed my mom this video.
she's in the room right now. So this is a video. This is all Tom's work, and then backed up by a song
Your
that we
work.
did. Backed up by our work. That's right. So please to enjoy the Songworks pick collage. Walking the names of some city, just getting lost can comfort a man. With you and me disconnected, going to ground with nowhere to stand. If I could fly, I'd ride with the lightning, where I could touch you with many a fall. In my rambling path between heaven and earth, I could strike anywhere, and I'll find you wherever you are. Been aiming high without a direction, settling low but hoping for more. A victim of natural selection, flying my kite and fleeing a storm. If I could fly, I'd ride with the lightning, where I could touch you with barely a fall. In my rambling path between heaven and earth, I could strike anywhere, I'll find you wherever you are. Might even believe that we're entangled, our love subatomic.
I mean, in any day it would, but still.
I'm hoping,
So
man. I think the state of music is so scattered right now that what we're releasing is always on point.
Oh yeah.
Because there are no points. I mean, they're all points now.
yep.
There are no points and they're all points.
Yeah.
We'll put that on a t-shirt, brother.
So all you guys in chat, what did you think of Tom's pictures? It's about Tom's pictures. Those fucking shots of us, man, are amazing. It is amazing photography.
Yeah.
Y'all, seriously, like it's so good. And the fucking song, like the song is good too. Like the whole thing, all that. Like I think that video right there was just a special little microcosm of what happened that week. You know, and yeah, it was just great.
Yeah. Sandy and I were just watching and remarking like how you captured so many emotions, Tom, that we didn't know existed, except for James, and like that's just James. You can take any picture of James, it's going to be animated, but the rest of us, wow.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I do that I have a knack for is I have a knack for catching those little tiny moments that just go by like that. I have a knack for kind of being in the right place and paying attention to shit like that. So it's a curse and a blessing. I overshoot way too much. Like when I shoot a wedding, I'll probably shoot anywhere between 3,000 to 3,500 photos for 8-10 hour day. But
you captured emotions I didn't know existed. So
yeah, I've got a lot of, there might be chunks of photos I'll never use because I was anticipating a moment that never happened. But sometimes when that moment happens, the photos pay off and it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Just like writing a song.
Yep.
Yeah.
So listen, we're gonna get to wrapping up here. So I want to get some final thoughts from the crew here, and I also want all of you guys to talk about your own projects and your things that you have going on. Starting with Tom. Tom, how'd you feel about the whole thing, and then tell us where to find you.
Words can't describe how I feel about this whole thing. Your Songworks weeks are like a capsule in a moment in time for me, and it's like hanging out with you like we did in high school, college, and then it's just sitting back and watching creative people be creative. And I don't get to spend a week like that very much, so I love that part. Just to even be honored enough to literally be inside the studio while you're creating such jaw-dropping shit. Content aside, I mean, it's a great week. It was a great week, and I cannot wait to really get into the photos that I took and really show you kind of what happened. God, what do I have going on? What don't I have going on right now? I'm currently living in Chicago, and in what is today 3.5 weeks, I'll be waking up in Miami every day. I'm getting ready to move down to South Florida, so Boca Raton, here I come. So that's kind of my big thing is wrapping up my gigs and
extremely exciting. That is extremely exciting, Tom.
Yeah.
I think you're going to find when you get down there, the environment, the playground that you're going to have to be able to shoot is night and day from Chicago. Night and day.
Literally, it's actually night and day.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm excited about the opportunity down there to really kind of take what I've learned and done here in Chicago and move that into a Miami area climate and photography climate and just see what I can get myself into. We joked. I'm telling people I'm giving myself 3 years. I'm shooting on my Miami Heat basketball game. You watch. That's my goal.
100%.
That's my goal.
Believe that you will. Yeah. So Tommy, where can everybody find you? Where's all your socials?
Easiest place to get around. Yeah, easy place. TomAMcDonaldPhoto.com. You'll find all links to my socials there. Social wise, same thing. Tom A McDonald Photo. You'll find me on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, YouTube eventually this fall. Pete and I have talked about this, so there might be some YouTube content coming from me in the fall. So yeah, TomAMcDonaldPhoto.com.
Yeah, so all you guys go follow him. He's also on Facebook and Instagram. Same kind of thing. Tom A. McDonald Photography. Special K was posting links and chat.
Very kindly, yes.
But Special K, if you would do some of that again, and yeah. So we're gonna do art at the end. I want to do Matt. Matt, how'd you feel about the entire experience, and where can people find you? What are you doing?
Just an absolute pleasure. As I mentioned before, the best part is how everyone elevates their other team members and supports each other. And it's fun first, with the faith and conviction that the output will be great if you just love and support each other through the process. Aside from all the other things I do, I did finish there's another musical cooperative collaborative that I have been contributing to for the past couple of years called TWA, like the airline. And coincidentally, we were just finishing up the mixing and mastering while I was in the studio with you guys. And it's a collaboration between North Carolina, New Jersey, California, and Germany. And we hope to be releasing it. It's TWA-music.com, another Prague thing. From the
TWAmusic.com.
Yeah.
All right. Special K, can you put that in there, please? TWAmusic.com, right?
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Dash music, hyphen.
TWA-music.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to bring that up in my browser right now. There it is. Hell yeah. Oh, and you guys got a SoundCloud preview up. Oh, fantastic.
I'm sending out the newsletter.
Let me
yeah.
Let me cue that up real quick. TWA.
I already shared it with you guys.
What's the
with ass?
I guess you could just share it with us. That'd probably be easier than me typing in things.
Oh yeah, no, that's good.
So James, it's no spoon. I can say that.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
So, well, first of all right. So everybody go check out. So you can check out Abacab, as we talk about on the show all the time. I'm in that band too. Matt is the drummer in that band. So go check out Abacab, tmog.com. You can check out all of our content there. And then make sure you guys check out twa-music.com, because that's Matt's other project. And that's going to be pretty amazing as well. So make sure you're checking that out. Now, James, final thoughts on the whole experience, and then tell everybody what you're into and where they can find you.
The experience was just wonderful. It would really fucking suck if all of these guys were assholes, but they're not. These guys are super cool, very open individuals. I don't feel like my social battery is dead every time I've hung out with them, which is always nice, because we're in there for like 10 or so hours, and it's just, full creativity amongst friends. And I'm really happy with how these songs turned out. Like I'm kind of with Tom, actually. I feel like the songs on this album on the whole are better.
Yeah, 100%.
And
again, not sliding anything you guys did last year.
No.
This album is in its own orbit.
This album now sounds like more of a band that's been actually playing together.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. I'm really excited to hear, what takes you guys decide to go with, and I'm really excited to hear Joe's mix. And I can't wait. As far as my own stuff is concerned, you can find my OnlyFans. You can find my OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding. Not yet, at least. So I am currently in 2 active progressive metal bands. to the shock of no one. And one of them is called The Reticence. And currently we are just about to start the process of continually recording the next 2 albums. We're actually working on 2 albums right now.
Oh yeah,
at the same
that's right.
time.
You guys are doing it back to back, aren't you?
Yeah. And the Reticent is like a progressive metal band, and we like to deal with like very hard topics. So if you ever come to see us, you better bring a tissue box because you're going to cry.
Yeah.
It's a very intense experience, unlike anything you've ever seen. So, feel free to come check us out. Our website is www.thereticent.net.
Yep. Special K put it in chat there.
In the chat.
Yep.
Cool.
Make sure you guys go follow that.
And the other band, which is my main project, is called No Spoon. That's NOSPU with a macron on top and then N. And also a progressive metal band. Our music is very, very out there and very exciting, at least in my opinion. We just put out an album called Opus that's available on all of your streaming platforms, including Bandcamp. And we don't have a website yet, so we're only on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, MySpace. No. And yeah, I want everyone in that chat right now to stop what they're doing and go listen to that album.
Hell yeah.
Because I feel like you guys will like it. Or you might hate it.
Not yet.
If you hate it,
wait till this
don't
ends.
let me
wait
know.
till the pod ends. Come on. Come on. Don't go now. You wait.
He
We'll
said,
take a few more minutes.
wait till the show ends, but then go do it.
Then
Yeah.
go do it.
Yeah, so those are the main things in my life.
And I will just go ahead and put my seal of approval on the No Spoon album. No Spoon's Opus is the best album I've listened to all year. And that doesn't mean ours because ours isn't done yet. But that No Spoon Opus is unreal. It's unreal. I've been listening to you develop that for a while now, like in demos and stuff when you and I are taking Abacab trips. And man, to hear that thing actually done, dude, No Spoon is the shit. Spoon's the shit. You guys need to fucking absolutely need to listen to that shit. So
can I pile on briefly by
Yeah.
just saying this is a new release. No one knew they existed until a few weeks ago. The international interest, international festivals, international reviewers, just Google it, and you'll see how many people stopped and turned their heads and took notice of this for something that was not a known quantity.
Yeah.
I've never been a part of anything like that, probably never will, and seldom seen anything like it.
Yeah, no, the amount of attention you guys have got.
We've already launched. I'm talking about that debut. So we've already debuted.
That's right.
That
You've already
ship
debuted.
sailed.
Yeah,
I can say that. I can say that with integrity.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Good point.
Talking about the buzz of an initial launch and release is pretty staggering, but not surprising.
Yeah, it's a great record, and you guys all need to check it out for sure. And all those links are in the chat. You guys can find it out. Now, we're going to come to Art for this. Art, I want you to talk about your
I know what I'm going to talk about.
Your feelings on the whole week, and then tell us where we can find you. Hint, hint. It's all the same places you can find me. Anyway, go ahead.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Am I? Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Turn your camera on so people can hear you say this or see you say this stuff.
Man, I'm trying to
turn your camera on so we can hear you talk.
Yeah. Turn down the radio. I need to concentrate on the road.
Yeah.
So
There he is.
Unapologetically kind, y'all. Fight bullying.
That's right.
To the background for a moment. All right. So, what was my experience this week as opposed to this week last year, the week before last year? I found these guys, all of them, to be more open to the collaboration. I don't think the first time that they knew who I was, so they didn't know what to expect. I mean, who is this dude, Art? Why is he here as a producer? Is he playing anything? What's happening? And this time they sort of knew, you know, they knew who I was, they knew what my approach was, and they knew that my objective was to give them seeds of ideas so that they could progress and make them better, because they're absolutely better musicians than I am. Absolutely 100%, no question. So my perspective is, I'm a creator. Let's give them ideas so that they can spell those ideas out in their own creative space. And I think it worked out magnificently. I think that every idea that I offered them, they took and made their own. Whereas last time I gave them ideas and those ideas were the idea. And that was a really interesting progression for me. And I hope for them. Like I said, when we started out, the objective was, and this is what I talked to Pete about, I was like, you know what, man, if we are focused on becoming the next big thing, this is going to ruin the entire experience for us. What we have to be focused on is the experience of creating together. So we have to create the best possible creative space for the people that we're working with. And I think that it's played out very nicely so far. And so far as what we're working on, I want to let you guys know, you can go to artandpete.com. Kay has probably smashed that. Not yet. Hey, smash that.
Smash that.
You can go to artandpete.com. We've got Songworks Volume 1 released. We've got almost a half of Childish Things released. So what we're going to be working on for the next year, the next 2 years, let me just put it that way. Over the next 2 years, we're going to be working on creating the 10 Songworks episodes so that we can create a song at the end of that 2 years. For the next year, we're going to be working on releasing the rest of Childish Things, in addition to potentially those first 5 episodes. And then the year after that, we're going to be working on those second 5 episodes and working on an album that we're temporarily or potentially permanently calling Mutual Friends. We've got about half those songs fully written, I think. And the other half we're going to be playing with and working on and exposing to other people to get their ideas down, including these guys, all of them. And that's what we've got going on. Also, I'm looking for a job. So if you want to hire somebody who knows iOS development, blah, 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 feel free to contact me. Information's nowhere. You'll have to look for me on LinkedIn. But, that's our game, guys. All we want to do is create a creative space where the musicians that we're working with can come in and feel like they have an opportunity to share their voices, even though we're paying their dumb asses, because that's how we've set it up. It just works that way, you know.
Turns out you can buy loyalty.
if you show loyalty. I think you can only buy it if you show it.
That's true. And yes, to your point, we are going to spend the next couple years finishing up some Art and Pete content that we have set on the back burner because Songworks is so exciting. But now we've got 2 Songworks albums under our belt, so we're going to take some time and get this stuff done, and then we're going to come back to Songworks, and then we'll do a Songworks Volume 3.
The songs from Childish Things are awesome, by the way. I've heard them. It's so cute.
Oh,
we wouldn't do this if the song sucked. I mean, one of them might suck, but probably doesn't. I have a bias. But there are some, like I'll call them out by name. The Great Confabulator is great.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
Rearrange, which if you think you know what genre is, it'll blow your fucking mind because it doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
We've got some really interesting things coming down the pipeline. I hope you guys love them and enjoy them, and I hope you stick with us through the rest of Songworks.
Oh,
because Songworks 3 is going to be a completely different experience.
Fun fact, I'm glad that you touched on those songs. Fun fact, 2 of the guys that are sitting at that table right now, James and Matt, are both on Childish Things. So all that, the guitar work is all James, the drum work is all Matt.
And that's available now.
Yeah, that's available.
Anyway.
That's a couple songs anyway. But and I don't think I'm speaking for Art here. I mean, Art and I have talked about this. James and Matt and probably Chris too. You guys will invite you to be the band on Mutual Friends for sure. So So even though we're not doing the Songworks thing, we will more than likely be doing this whole kind of week again. So look forward to that. So Monty Python says, thanks for using Kite and Key for that pic collage. It was a great surprise belated birthday present. Yep. That was kind of for you, bud, because you're somebody that was really excited about the work, and plus when we got done with it in the studio, we thought it was a banger. So yeah, so I'm going to use that on the pic collage. But yeah, Songworks has been this is I loved last week. I loved it. I loved it. I don't know if I'm ready to say that this is that this is my favorite album, because I really, really love That Door. That song is like one of my favorite things I've ever written or been a part of. But this album, I think, pound for pound, it's much different. It's new. It's going to be fresh and new and exciting, and I can't wait to put the work in and show you guys. So you can find, you already know where to find me. You've been watching the goddamn show for several years. You already know. So last question to Art and Tom. How was staying at Hotel Marriott Lentz?
We had continental breakfast set up for us every morning with fresh coffee, and we came home to a hot home-cooked meal. I will not and cannot complain.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I'm not sure where Art went, but I want to bid you guys adieu. Thank you so much for being here at the show. It's been an honor to work with all you guys, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it some more.
You're welcome.
Oh, he's up.
Am I back, dude?
He's up here at the top now. Hang on, I'll bring you down.
Oh, big man.
There you are. Now you're in the seat. So
hey, look at that.
Thank you guys so much. Turn your camera back on so we can wave at people. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're not going to bother with Raid tonight. If you guys want to go, you guys can all go and hang out wherever you like. But from all of us here, thank you guys for being here. And we hope you guys really will enjoy Songworks Volume 2, because there's a lot of work still needs to be done to it. And hopefully it's going to be super cool. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.